Wide open throttle for the big jump. Oh, I'm so excited. Whee! Oh my gosh, that is just crazy. Hey crew, I've got the key to this 27 Ram TRX SRT. That's the first time the SRT logo has been applied to the TRX. I'm here at the RedMud motocross track in Buchanan, Michigan, and it's 10 a.m. and I am so hot already. So I'm gonna keep the exterior discussion brief, but not a lot has changed since this truck was temporarily retired in 2024, brought back here in 27. They have added these red accents around the flow-through Ram logo, and there's a completely redesigned air intake that's part of the reason why this truck now makes 777 horsepower. I'll get more into that later. You still have the mail slot intake there and the heat extractors on the hood. This is a new Serrano Green Metallic paint color, and I think it's fantastic as a contrast to the red details. See that 6.2 supercharged badge. We've got red accents now on the front tow hooks. There's still a steel front bumper, fog lights down there, skid plate protection underneath, and projector LED headlights. Moving to the side, there are some satin black 18-inch wheels. You can choose beadlock capable wheels. They're actually standard on the Bloodshot Night Edition, which has a special graphics package and some other details. Those are wrapped in Goodyear Wrangler Territory 35-inch all-terrain tires. These metal Mopar side steps are an accessory, one of the few accessories on this truck. Now, so many things are standard. Looking at the profile, it's still a full crew cab configuration with the 5'7" bed. Getting to the back, there's a larger SRT badge on the other side of the tailgate from the TRX badge with a TRX head, and they apparently spent a lot of time on that to instill fear in the competition. And there are huge exhaust outlets with red tow hooks back here and steel rear bumpers. Full-size spare tire is up underneath. Then you get a power-operated tailgate, so it'll power on down for you, revealing a spray-in bed liner, again as standard, and then you just assist it a bit and it'll power on up. There's also an optional folding tonneau cover. Let's check out the interior. I had to start the truck up to get the AC going, but we'll do a proper startup before we do the drive. Hopping on down, I'll show you that it's 6 feet tall with the metal side steps and the leather-wrapped stitched grab handle. It's very easy to get in. I've got these all-weather floor mats as standard, leather seats with perforations, red contrast stitching, and these stripes on the bolsters that have suede inserts. Red seat belts, I'm a sucker for that. And then if you aren't using the middle seat, it'll come on down for cup holders, suede topped console with a little bit of storage. There's also a suede wrapped headliner now for 27, and of course the same immense amount of legroom behind my own seating position. You've got carbon fiber trim that's real carbon fiber with USB-C ports, heated and ventilated seats as standard with a 400-watt AC outlet, air vents there. I wish there were more, maybe on the pillars there or up high. On the doors, we've got suede wrapping, red contrast stitching, perforations, and carbon fiber trim. There's a 19-speaker Harman Kardon sound system as standard as well. Let's check out the front next. And if you thought that was a lot of standard conveniences in the back, the front gets even better because the seats aren't just heated and ventilated, they're also massaging. They've got thicker bolsters, power adjustments here, 2 positions of memory, along with your one-touch up-down windows, power folding door mirrors as well. Getting in just as easy with a grab handle on the A-pillar, hopping into this driver's seat and closing up that door. Hey cabin crew, thanks again for joining for this first drive. The steering wheel is leather wrapped and heated. It's got this new leather airbag cover with red stitched accents, leather topper on the dashboard upper with red stitching, and carbon fiber on the passenger side over this hidden storage cubby. Got more storage up here, more carbon fiber there, and over here. The paddle shifters, they took notes because the previous TRX had these itty-bitty paddle shifters that everyone despised. So now you get this big single aluminum piece that goes in on the spokes. So now it's basically split. You can shift up here or down here, but that is better than before. 12.3-inch digital gauge that's high resolution and reconfigurable, head-up display, and a 14.5-inch touchscreen with all these physical button redundancies on the side that I do appreciate. I got in this truck, I wanted the air to go quickly. I didn't want to have to hunt in the menu for it. I just hit this fan speed up, then I hit the temperature down, and we were good. If you do want to hunt around the infotainment, you've got the performance pages, you've got a surround view camera system and all your controls. Digital rear view mirror here is standard. Below, we've got USB A and C ports, 2 wireless charging pads, not using that currently for my phone, but I should, and then a leather-wrapped gear selector. And I'm so glad we're using this and not the dial on the dashboard. Instead, in that spot, we've got your transfer case settings, drive modes, and launch control. Suede top console lid and a TRX badge with a window through to some Hellcat internals, and you can actually say Hellcat now because it is a proper SRT product. Open the top of that, you've got shallow storage and then deeper storage down underneath with coin slots. You still have that in 27. And then I did forget to mention the panoramic glass roof. That's one of the few options you can equip to this interior. It's very nicely appointed. You've got good materials, great features. For $102,000 to start, this one is $106,000 as tested. We're gonna find out if the meat of that price is backed up by the performance next. All right, let's fire it up. Gotta love that supercharged V8 rumble. It's still here and more potent than ever with the 27 TRX. Let me throw on my seatbelt before we head on out. Pulling the gear selector back into reverse prompts that high-res backup camera, and we do have a wider angle, which is handy for a road like this. We got all these different vehicles moving around on this motocross track, and the rear cross traffic indication letting me know it's not safe yet. Now that we've backed up, down into drive. And among our drive modes, we're gonna kick things off in, not snow, let's just go for auto. It's got the 6.2 liter supercharged V8 shared with the now dead but probably resurrecting Hellcat. But now it makes 777 horsepower and 680 pound-feet of torque. That's an increase of 75 horses and 30 pound-feet of torque. The way that the Ram SRT team was able to accomplish that was through, one, more fuel, the increased fuel pressure. They've got more air from a redesigned air intake. It's got a new pulley and a new valve train. So there's actually an increased red line in this truck. But yeah, 777 horsepower is just out of control. It now puts the 720 horsepower F-150 Raptor R on notice, and that's routed through an 8-speed automatic, a torque converter. Torque Flight is the branded name of that transmission. Sent through to all 4 tires, and there's a proper Borg-Warner transfer case, which I'm not gonna get into for this on-road portion. I've got a 20-minute drive route that I wanna do before later when we're gonna go off-road and jump this truck. But for now, let's dig into that power. Oh, the supercharger. Of course, I'm familiar with supercharged 6.2 liter V8s from my Demon 170, but this supercharger is a little bit smaller, yet still makes a wonderful noise. Getting that whine into the cabin. And the way I access that is very important. My driving position is important. Fortunately, in this truck, not only do you have the seat adjustments for slide forward or backward, or tilt, or height, although I do wish I could sit actually a little bit lower. I've got a longer torso, and I often feel like I'm sitting high. It's fine in a truck. You also have not only the tilt and telescope of the steering wheel done manually, so I can get a great position for that, but there's also foot pedal adjustments. So in my case, I said I've got the long torso, I don't have quite as long of legs, and so I can pull the pedals in a bit as I have my seat positioned back for my arms to grip in to the wheel. So you can customize it, you can make it perfect for your body type so that you can make noise. Now, just, very initial digging my foot into the throttle. Do I feel all of that 75 additional horsepower? Not necessarily, but it does certainly feel every bit as perky as I remember the TRX, and that's a great thing, to have that back in the Ram 1500. But importantly, the power is fed in a smooth way, and this suspension, second generation of the Bilstein Hawk E2 remote reservoirs, is working great to smooth out the chop of this road surface. It floats a little bit, and I think that's fine. Adds to the feeling of cruising and comfort. And of course, these seats are just terrific. Giant slabs of leather and fabric, suede inserts there to keep me in the bolster. I'll definitely need that when I'm in the off-road portion, but just super comfortable. And I haven't even turned on my massage. What am I doing? It starts up with the bottom cushion. It goes, ha, 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 we're here. Though that may be questionable, I am certainly appreciative of the fact that though this truck is giant on the road, I feel in control of its positioning in the lane. There's enough steering feedback to tell me how much input is required to keep the tires pointed where I want them to. It doesn't feel sloppy on the road, and that's really important when you've got dimensions of this size. You don't want to just be floating over the lane markings. The power is also manageable. Here in this auto mode, I can just eke out the throttle and get the right measure of power. And when duty calls for it, I'm going to switch over to the Sport Drive mode. A lot of presses. There we go. Now we're in Sport. As I enter this highway, see how it feels with the all-terrain tires in this corner. Yeah, they move around, but you know what? The truck isn't wallowing side to side, and then, oh my goodness! You look forward to highway on-ramps in this truck, you really do. Or when there's an opportunity for a pass, you're like, oh, please. All the noise and all the momentum. Let me go back over to this lane here though, because in addition to your mid-range pulls, which I'll just do another one. Oh, what a noise. You may want to be on the highway cruising, chilling. So let me go back over to, where's that auto mode? This would be fine if it was a dial, not having to press over like 15 times, but it is. So here, back in auto, I am going to use the driving assistance features. It's got hands-free highway driving. The green light bars on the outside of the gauge cluster, that's when you are in hands-free mode. And this is going to maintain the gap to the vehicle in front of me. It's also going to change lanes for me when I wanted to do that. So let me just indicate. And if there is a gap, it moves over. It's also showing me that on the head-up display, what's going on, what it's doing. So I can hop around this semi before I then indicate. It moves back over to the right. The door mirrors are of decent size. I do like the wide angle. I don't think you can adjust these. No, it doesn't have the towing mirrors, so you can't pull them out for greater visibility if I was towing something. If you have a commute in this truck, now being able to go hands-free is a great asset to reducing your stress to go into the office, or if you've had a long day on your way home from work. And this is the only of this segment of performance off-road trucks that has this feature. You can't get it in the Raptor. In terms of cabin volume at these speeds, I am pleasantly surprised. Given the giant all-terrain tires and the massive wind-resistant hood and size of this truck, I expected more wind noise, more tire hum, especially on this concrete slab. And I get some of that, certainly, but I don't feel the need to shout to make my point. I gotta come back to the ride for a second as we exit this highway. Look at this road. It's been patched, resurfaced in parts and not in others, just super chewed up. And yet for a solid rear axle truck, it is just so compliant over this. Yeah, independent front suspension, but a solid rear axle, and just soaking this up and delivering a rather luxurious ride quality here on the road. I can't wait to see what it's like off-road. But before we transition off-road, I happened to find a perfect stretch of road for a real-world 0 to 60. I've got my race box set up here to record. From the Sport Drive mode, I've got it in right now. I'm gonna hit launch control, and with that enabled, foot hard on the brake, pin the throttle, it's holding, letting go. Oh my. And there's 60 in 4.18 seconds. That is moving a lot of truck very quickly to my great pleasure. Whee! Though I will admit 4.1 is a little off Ram's 3.5 second claim. Still good. All right, I'm out here with Toon, the vehicle development manager for
all the sport trucks and SRT lineup.
Awesome. And he's just taking me through a hot lap, or a sighting lap rather, of this off-road course, and now it's my turn. All right, let's do it. We got a chicane to start. And then some whoops, which we're gonna take at speed, and it just absorbs it.
Slow down for this turn to set up for the 45.
Okay.
You have to just maintain throttle at 45.
Okay. First jump. Buttery smooth, oh my goodness. That is wild. A little bit of tail happiness through here. Little jump. Whee! Hard the brakes. We're gonna set up.
Yep, and when you're ready, go wide open. Hammer down.
Wide open throttle for the big jump. Oh, I'm so excited. Whee! Oh my gosh. That is just crazy.
Drift around the corner.
Unbelievable.
Go for this turn and set up for the 45 again.
Oh, that is so fun. All right, 45, here we go. And up. Smooth, so smooth. Brakes have nice bite too. Even on dirt, all-terrain tires, bite in nicely. Oh, and the power, it's just beautiful. Hard on those brakes.
All right.
Turn in.
Hammer down, hammer down.
One more, here we go, full throttle. Sliding away and woohoo! Oh yes, that all felt easy. That's the thing, that's the craziest takeaway. It's like that all felt so easy for this truck. And those were some serious jumps. Considering most of that off-road course was just me going wow and wee and laughing hysterically, I think it's probably best if I spend a moment talking you through what my impressions were from that. So first off, I was most impressed, not even by the full throttle 100-foot jump at the end. It was actually the 45-mile-per-hour jump in the beginning and the whoops in front of that, because the way this Bilstein suspension and the 13 inches of front wheel travel and 14 inches of rear wheel travel absorbed those elevation changes was so impressive. And even though you can't go into a rear wheel drive mode, in the Baja mode that we were in, you clearly can still slide it. I wasn't getting a ton of understeer. There's a little bit of that, to be fair, but it was able to be controlled by giving a little extra throttle, stabbing the brakes to just dip the nose down and bring the back end around. It's possible in this full-time four-wheel drive truck. And though the Ram team didn't allow us to turn off traction control completely in the Baja mode, there is that capability. To wrap up this first drive, the standard content that you get in this truck, all these features, all these amenities, the hands-free highway driving, the suede wrapping, the leather, the heating, ventilation, massaging, all the good stuff for $102,000, plus all of the power, now more so than ever, a great ride compliance from the suspension, the off-road capability. It's a really attractive package, and at a price that is 10 grand less than the now less powerful F-150 Raptor R. Ram, SRT, they've done a good job with this truck. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you would have the Raptor R or the TRX, and I will see you again next time. Whee!